Hello YouTubers, this is David Childley and this is your 2012 update. Now today I wanted to make you aware of a brand new video that came out last week. It's about an Irish family that were getting their home repossessed. The local sheriff turns up with his court order to repossess, and the video is about a 20-minute documentation of how that unfolded, and it really is a great watch because, as the gentleman Ben Gilroy in the video explains, he's come to defend and help a good friend, to help with his education, to help protect him against the corporate bullies. Now most people think when a court turns up and they've got a repossession order that that's law, but it's not. It's actually illegal, and under the Constitution in many countries around the world there is a set of defined rules, and to help it make it really simple for you, there's really two laws that affect us on this planet. There's common law or civil law, which affects the people, the land, and then there's commercial law, which is for profit. Now in the UK we have many different types of courts. The common law court is the Crown Court, where you sit in front of a jury of 12. Whenever you're in front of a jury of 12, you're in a Crown Court, a common law or a civil court, the land and the court of the people. And if it's any other type of situation, then you're in a commercial court for profit. If a bank has issued a repossession on your house, it's been issued by a commercial bank that works for profit, and the bailiffs get commissions for repossessing your house from the bank. But under common law, that's totally unlawful. Now most people don't know the difference between lawful and legal. Well, if something is legal or illegal, it's been issued or it's dealt with through a commercial court for profit. So if it's a speeding fine, if it's any kind of transaction involving any kind of money, fine or prison term, then that's normally dealt with through the commercial courts for profit. The banks will use the commercial courts. Your local courts that don't sit there with a jury of 12, that simply have a bench of judges or bailiff or registrars, that's a private business, and when they summons you, they're actually giving you an invitation to attend their place of business. Now you can refuse that, but most people feel that when they've been summoned they're bound to appear, and really if you look in the English dictionary under summons, it's an invitation. So it's just a play on words there. But the thing I really want you to understand is that you have a whole bunch of laws, and the people around the world now are getting educated about common law and civil law because it's still law of the land, and everything else requires your consent. Everything else is commercial law for profit. Anything dealt through the banks or credit card companies, it's all under commercial law. So next time you get bailiffs knock at your door, maybe you should have taken time out to research this for yourself, because if you're in that vulnerable situation, we don't use pitchforks anymore, as Ben Gilroy in this video kindly clarifies. He says now we're getting educated, you know, and the people of the land are getting educated. They're standing up to the corporate bullies. But it's interesting, this gentleman in here who's been working for the local sheriff's department for 31 years didn't seem to be aware he was working for a private company. Didn't seem to be aware. He was totally unaware, thought he was working for the government. But it's all highlighted and pointed out. It's a cracking video. I'll put the link underneath. Go and have a watch of that, and just really try and understand that the whole corrupt system is falling down. People are starting to understand there's two real laws. There's common law, which affects us the people. It's ancient law, it's still in place. And then there's commercial law, or anything that's legal or requires legislation goes through a commercial court for profit. So when somebody next says to you, you can't do that, that's illegal, they're issuing that order from a commercial court, and that requires your consent to say, oh yes I won't, or no I won't, or yes I will. So it's all about consent. Commercial law requires your consent. Common law doesn't. Common law is just law of the land. Don't cause injury, harm or loss to another. That's the basic 3 or 4 laws in common or civil law. Don't cause injury, harm or loss to another. But under commercial law, it only applies to you if you consent, if you accept it. So when somebody officially says, what's your name, and you say John Smith, you've accepted their jurisdiction, you've consented to their jurisdiction. They can then apply commercial law to you. They can give you a statute fine. They can fine you for speeding. And there's many laws under common law, for example, that give us the right to travel in a vehicle. Now, in the old days, that was horse and cart, but we all still have the right to travel in a vehicle, and there's nothing in common or civil law that requires us to have a certificate of insurance or a licence, all that stuff. The licence, the insurance, the certificate, the fines you can get in the car, that all comes under commercial law for profit. And the police are the enforcers. They enforce the fines. They generate the fines. They are on bonuses and commissions. If they don't slap tickets and fines, then they don't really progress in their job. So you can see their motivation. But it's a corrupt system, and it's going to come down. And people who are trying to enforce this corrupt system are now coming up against a whole bunch of people without pitchforks, but they are very, very educated. So this is really, really great news for 2012. I'm sitting here getting very exciting, watching it all unfold. I'm watching banks falling over. I'm watching people in high places looking over their shoulder. If I was one of the elite bankers now, I'd be running for the hills. I really would. I wouldn't be living or enjoying my luxury. I'd be not trusting anyone looking over my shoulder, and that's not really a good place to be. And if you look at some of the TV stuff around the world now, you see blatant displays of Illuminati symbolism in the Hollywood Bowl, the Madonna performance, recently with Whitney's funeral. It's like their last-ditch attempt to send a message out to their minions that we're still in control, we're still controlling the mass media. And that is also a display that is very, very controlled, but they're using it as a coded message to send out to their people to hold firm. This corruption is going to fade away. It's going to be swept under the carpet, but I don't believe it is. And I encourage you all to click the link below. Go and watch Ben Gilroy now in his finest moment, defending the people. No pitchforks, just we're getting educated. I love that video. It's got 151,000 views as of this morning, and it was uploaded only 2 or 3 days ago. It is a classic piece of viral video where the people are taking back the power. So click that link, go and check it out, and I'll be back in a few days with another 2012 update. Take care.